guys, welcome back to the vlog. I wasn't planning on filming this today, but it's such a big deal. It's such big news. I have officially signed management. I'm so excited. I've literally not had management for 4 years now, and I thought, do you know what, this is actually the most crazy thing that's happened to me in terms of my career in this year, because I did not start this year thinking I was going to be seeking management. But moving to Barcelona and just moving abroad in general, like as a creator, you often see like a lot of ebbs and flows with the amount of work that you have coming in. And where I've had such a consistent, and like, we're just going to get into it, okay, the business side. This is not the usual kind of vlog. We're going to be talking about the money and the business side of this job, okay? So if you are interested in that side of it, whether you're someone who wants to be a content creator, you already are a content creator but you're still learning, or you just like to be nosy and just want to find this stuff out, then watch through the video, because we are going to just go through absolutely everything. And you guys know me, I'm very honest, so I'll share all the numbers, all the figures and everything, so you really understand what it's like on the business side of being a content creator. But anyways, to start us off today, I am going to go meet my new manager. I have been interviewing different agencies for like 6 weeks now, and I did actually find one that I really liked before, but when it actually came to starting, there were a few little, I want to say red flags, and there were a couple of little situations where mutually, by the end of it, we were both like, okay, allow this. Neither of us want this situation. And not to get into too much of the nitty-gritty details, but that did make me start my search again. And after signing with them on Friday, I'm so glad that I just happened to be coming back to the UK this week, and I could slip in a little meeting with my new manager. So you guys are going to meet her. Her name's Neve. She's so sweet. She specialises in more like the publishing side of management when it comes to creators and working on the career 5-year plan. And she also works with a lot of neurodivergent creators, which I love and I'm excited for, because I really feel like I've worked so well with agents in the past, but when it comes to like that additional line of needs because of my ADHD, I have found it a little bit tricky to feel like heard and seen. And so I'm really hoping that like through building a relationship with Neve and getting to know her and her getting to know me like on a personal level, that it will be kind of seamless, because she has got that experience already. So yeah, I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. I'm just at Bond Street right now, just got on the train in from Reading. It's literally like a 25-minute train from my parents' house. It's so good. Just gonna wait for her here, and then we're gonna head, I think, to the Ivy for brunch, which is super cute. Or we might try to go to this place called Pepin around the corner. Please, can we just ignore the cold sores for this video? Please, 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 please. And my hair is so greasy, but we just have to deal with it. I'm so glad I brought my slip wrap brush. I haven't got any gel in it. I've just used the brush, and that's how greasy my hair is. Anyways, I'm super excited. We've come to Queen's near Bond Street, and look at this. I'm gonna get one of these gluten-free cookies. Even though these sausage rolls, lamb sausage rolls, they look so good. Here we go. Oh, nice. Oh, yay! Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Here she is, girls. It's Neve.
Can I have a classic matcha? The classic matcha, cold please. And do you have it with almond milk or oat milk? Almond please. Almond please, thank you. Yeah, I'll have the same, the salmon, but gluten free. Yeah.
I'm gonna put some sugar in it, but it might not melt. Oh, it's alright. It's good. Thank you. Yeah, and salt and pepper. Yeah. Ooh, this looks good. Yours looks nice as well. Yeah, it did, didn't it? It smells so good. Literally. Oh, this looks good though.
Yeah, this is him.
Oh my god, so how old is he?
Yeah, about 18. Then he just had his first haircut, and now he looks like a boy.
Oh, thank you.
Have some ketchup. Thank you.
Did you want better as well?
No, I'm okay. But yeah, the dog's just so, I just don't know what she knows. She's
Yeah, just to be like gentle with
yeah.
old and young people. Thank you.
Don't see it happening.
You don't see, that's so funny. My sister's called her baby Ari. It's the baby boy, which is so cute. I feel like it's quite easy for the English pronunciation, as well as, so her husband is Sri Lankan or Malaysian, one of them, can't remember. I think he's Malaysian, and we're obviously half Indian. So for her, she wants to have a more traditional name, but for it to be easy for her kid at school and just like growing up in the workplace, especially because my sister's name in India would be Tamanna, but here we call her Tam or Tammy. So it's quite nice because she gets like the best of both worlds.
It's actually yeah, literally perfect. No, it is great. So when did you move to Barcelona? How long have you been there for?
So I moved in January. January 21st was our arrival day. We lived in like 3 different flats for like 2 months, and at the end, or like 6 weeks, and at the end for another 6 weeks we stayed in one flat, and it's in the area that we're in now. It's like a 5-minute walk from there, and we loved the area so much. We didn't love that flat. We felt like we were staying in an Airbnb. Like we felt like we were in someone's unfinished house. Like it was a nice place, but so sterile and just like people sleep and shower here and they leave, you know. We didn't settle, and then we looked for somewhere else nearby, and we found where we are now, and we love it. We feel like it's so homely. I literally love it. Are you enjoying living in London?
Yeah, I don't feel like I'll live anywhere. I think because Daniel is like, he's from Camden, so like he's the most like North London person I've ever met. So like it would be weird I can't imagine him living anywhere else but London. I think because of his job up until now has been so like being in London kind of convenient way needed to be.
With being in a band? Was that his full-time job then? Wow. What was the band? Is he still in the band then? Or what's
no, so they were together for 10 years, and then they've literally just stopped in February. Yeah, it's lovely. Thank you so much. They were called Koala.
Oh, nice.
Spelt like phonetically.
Okay.
So yes, he did that full time, and now he's like stopped doing that, and now he's doing writing a lot for other artists.
That's hilarious. Wait, so Neve's fiance, sorry, used to be in a band, and he was supporting Bombay Bicycle Club. I was going to say Bombay Sapphire. And look at this pen. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Hold on. Okay, hair. No hair. So we're just going through like dream brands. We're not talking about strategy today, but next week we'll be talking about strategy. So we're just going through like dream brands I don't want to work with, and yeah, it's very exciting. Okay,
and then any
like these brands.
Yeah.
You want.
Or ones that you like loved working with in the past. That's also really handy.
Oh my god, when Princess Polly came to England for like 6 months, it was the best. I loved working with them. I really like the Australian like pepper mayo. That would be a dream brand for me. Not Polly. ASOS, oh my god. What the hell? If I ever worked with ASOS one day, I'd literally kiss your toes. They actually featured me on their app recently.
Any kind of like, do you do any more kind of like, I work quite a lot with like Sky and like those sort of brands, with like more kind of like around like film, TV.
They have good budgets, from what I've worked with before, but I did stuff with, I almost signed on to the Sky Creator program. I think where my content's at the moment is a lot more like out of the house, doing new things, and fashion, and like body positivity, more than lifestyle to the extent like at home. Maybe if we did like lifestyle from that perspective, like Deliveroo and Skies and those kind of service providers, maybe we can explore it, trying to think of some ideas on how to connect it, or like look at connecting it to YouTube or something, because that's much more homely content.
Yeah, sure.
But that's with.
Do you have an idea of who you would love that to be?
I don't know.
Or we can work it out.
Like a swimwear brand for certain, but Junk London that I work with, like I'm obsessed with, and I'm really hoping that like once Henry will pass on the baton over to you guys with Junk London, that we can really like sit down and look at developing something big. With them, where she's a small brand as well, it's a one-woman show, that it would just be so incredible to be able to do like a piece of work together that really does benefit her in that sense. So yeah, it would be really
And also,
nice.
it's so well aligned.
Yeah. Off we go. There's always construction, like as soon as you go somewhere pretty, there's always like it's the same in Barcelona. There's just this was the place that we went. It was really nice. Was it expensive or was it alright? It was okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's on the workout, so it's fine. I popped my flip-flops on. I was getting such a bad blister from those sambas. I've got the compu plasters on. So obviously you can't even see the blister because those compu plasters are so good. So nice. Literally so nice and like exactly what I need right now. So I'm really, really happy. And Eva's so nice, isn't she? She's literally such a sweet girl. When we were speaking on Zoom before like meeting up today, I just felt like I'm gonna get along with this girl so well. I felt like she's gonna be a bit of me, and she was, and she is. So good to go through all of like the brand side and like my goals and like objectives with what we're doing, and sharing with her the list of the brands that I don't want to work with, like ever, like Zara and H&M and Victoria's Secret and whatnot, and anyone that's a little bit fat phobic, no. I always find it hard to like list off brands that I would love to work with, because I do have like dream brands, if you will, but I don't know if I'm just like not believing in myself enough. But there's like brands like Aveeno that I just can't imagine working with, because I can't imagine them wanting to work with me. Like, I know it's so silly and like you should not speak, I should not put this out there into the universe at all. So let's just like take this moment to have a little bit of a reset and a restart on the but they'll never want to work with me. I would fucking love to work with Aveeno, ASOS. Like, there are so many brands that I would literally, oh my god, be insane. And we also spoke a bit about doing some charity work with some charities very close to my heart, so I'm very, very excited about this. And next time we're going to talk strategy, but we didn't really have time to talk strategy today because it's just after 1. My flight's at 4:30 and I need to make my way from like central London to Luton. But yeah, no, it was really good. I'm really happy and I'm really excited. I'm gonna go on Instagram now and ask you guys if you have any questions related to like the business side of things, and then answer all those questions in this video. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I get a couple of questions from you guys. This is the wine shop from earlier. This is so cool. I don't think this was up earlier, was it? Or no, it wasn't. But it looks so cool, isn't it? And the wine shop on the inside looks so nice. I actually really want to come here now. What's it called? Hedonism wines. Okay. Note to self, come here next time I come to London. Oh my god, look at that house. That is so nice. Wow. Like, stop. And over here as well. I feel like a tourist in my own city. This is amazing. I accidentally got on the green line, but I have a ticket for the National Express, which is, I don't know if you can see, it is all the way down there. We found like such a princess, but I've never had to get the coach to the airport before. It stresses me out too much right now. They're just like paying my friends to drive. We're gonna get a coach. And I was just texting Henry a minute ago being like, why does this feel so incredibly independent of me to do? So silly, isn't it? No, because why does it feel like I'm not, like I did it wrong? Why does it feel like I'm on the wrong coach? I asked him, I said, should my ticket? I said, I'm going to Luton Airport. Is this right? He was like, yeah, and then I said, we got this like this National Express, showed my ticket. He was like, yeah, that's fine. And then he goes, oh, it's A1, this is A2. I don't know what that means. I literally don't know what that means. And he goes, oh, but it's fine. I said, you're going to Luton Airport? He was like, yeah. So, why am I so scared I'm going to miss my flight? Okay, I've made it to the airport without a hitch. I can't believe I can't believe I actually made it. I generally thought the bus was going to end up like going the opposite way or something. Also, I look like a fucking lollipop today. When I was packing, I was thinking to myself, you're never actually going to have to wear the pinks together, are you? No, because it's going to be so hot. Anyway, but look at me, I'm literally... Oh, anyways, yeah, so I'm going to go through security check in and everything, get myself sorted. I should have like a good like hour and a half to sit down. I've put the questions up on Instagram so I can see you guys come through with the questions. And then I will answer all your questions and we can talk properly, like sit down and talk properly about management and influencer, like as a job, being an influencer as a job, like everything. I've just gotten in the lounge. I'm literally here like for 2 hours. So I'm gonna go to the lounge, get changed, put my joggers on, and we're gonna do a little Q&A. I've got the headphones in. Okay, so it turns out that you can't. I'm just going to and God, what's happening? My bag is actually tiny. This is such a joke. I'm gonna stay over here until we right before we go on, so she doesn't say anything about mine. But yeah, I've got the questions. Problem is, I'm on my phone and I'm recording on my phone, so I'm gonna have to film this in really chunky clips and click off, do one question at a time basically, and click off, click on, click off. So bear with me, I'm gonna get set up and we'll get going. Okay, hello. I don't know how noisy it is right now, but hopefully it's not too noisy that we can actually talk. The first question was, how do you actually make your money? So being a content creator, there are so many, or influencer, there are so many different ways, streams of income that you can have. So you can obtain a stream of income through link clicks. You can get paid from brands through different platforms like LTK, a really small percentage of the price of the item, or however much you sell for that brand, 6% or 3%, sometimes 7%, and on the odd day they give you 12% or 20% kind of thing. It always varies though. Another way to make money is just through brand ads and partnerships, which is what I'm talking to my management about. So you can develop a partnership like I had with Misfits in the past, where I had an affiliate code with them and I earned 20% on every sale I made, which was a really, really good amount every single month. That brought in, at the time, when I first started my career, I would say on top of the retainer I had with them for that, which was in exchange for the content I was doing plus commission, between 2 and 3k every single month. It was incredible, and probably the best partnership, the most successful partnership I've ever had was my first one. There's ad hoc brand ads that you could do, and I think, if I'm really honest, it does make me nervous, I don't know why, but I feel it's so important to have full transparency in the industry. This is one of the biggest female dominated industries in the world, so let's maintain that power and be the bosses of this industry and not let the brands be the bosses and share numbers with one another. Do you know what I mean? So for a brand ad, an ad hoc brand ad, I have personally charged anything between, not including when I first started, but since I've been more established, about £1,200 to 10 grand. You can charge a lot. And so when you see influencers going on trips all the time, traveling, shopping, everything all the time, it's because brands pay you bucks. They pay you so much money. And I think that's also why some people, and I'm so proud to say that I've never been too caught up in it, to make bad decisions, but you can understand to an extent why some people end up saying, fuck it, I'll just take the 20 grand and do this ad for a brand that they don't 100% believe in. Be human and be fucking real. If a brand came up to you and offered you £20,000 to post 3 videos and it was about a product that you liked but you didn't love, you would do it. You would do it. But I do feel very passionate about the fact that my whole career is now based on my credibility and the trust and the love I have between you and me. So I will never promote something, and I have never promoted something that I don't absolutely adore and absolutely love, because I also feel you just put a time bomb on your own career if you do that, because eventually people are going to receive the product and then think it's shit. They're not going to trust you again. So for me, I feel there's no point, and you actually do way more harm than good. But that's just to give you a bit of context, you can understand why some people end up in that position. And then you have other streams of income, like TikTok pay you per views, Instagram, I don't actually know if they do, but I'm not on the platform, I'm not set up on the platform for them too, and YouTube do as well, but I haven't earned anything from YouTube yet. Next question on how does paying management work? Do they take a percentage? Yes, they do. They take on average between 17.5% and 20%. Oh my god, not 50%. Around 20% is the most common, and some people strike incredible deals with their management where they take 10% or 12.5%, and that will probably be based on people who are earning millions or 500k easy in a year, that kind of thing. For me, it's 20% flat. Okay, question number 3. A really common question that I get asked by my friends in the industry as well is, how do you know how much to charge? Now, I love this question because I was self-managed for like 4 years. I feel like I have a lot of experience in understanding how much to charge. And look, I'm one of those people that will go in much higher, expect a little bit less, but I will go in higher. I'm not going to go in at what I think I deserve. I'm going to double it. And because of that, it's actually paid off immensely in terms of negotiating. And I feel like as women, we are more likely to expect less when it comes to the financial side of the world, as we shouldn't. And like I said, this is one of the most female dominated industries in the world, and I feel so passionate about like being someone who can help us maintain that. So yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going in high. But with how much to charge, there's not like a specific formula, like cost per click or like how many views you get divided by 20, like nothing like that. But what I would say is start by valuing your hour and then times it by 5, because the skill set you're bringing, that at the time spent times the skill set you're bringing, is so much more valuable to the brand than you realise it is. And so, for example, nowadays I would charge like 5k for a story set and a reel. And you may notice or may have seen before, I don't tend to actually push out a lot of ads like consistently all the time. I do have busier periods where maybe I have 3 or 4 ads coming out in a month, and then months where I have no ads whatsoever. But I tend to just stick to around the 5k mark, because I'm not gonna lie, that's a really nice happy number for me. That's incredible. If I get 2 ads in a month, are you fucking joking? No wonder Henry quit his job, do you know what I mean? No wonder we moved to Spain. So yeah, that I would give you that as like a ballpoint figure. But then there's been ads, campaigns I've done before. Like I worked with, I'm not allowed to say because of the contracts, but I worked with a brand before, a very hot here, a very famous hairstyling brand. And if you follow me for a while, you're gonna know who I'm talking about. I love their thing. Oh, maybe I'm not allowed to say that, but they paid me, okay, just in case in the contract that I've made that too obvious and I'm not allowed to say a specific number, they paid me somewhere in between £8,000 and £13,000 for 4 videos. Bro. Yes, I accept the deal. Okay, pros and cons of having management is the next question. I'm so sorry about the noise in the background. I'm going to try to wait. Okay, pros and cons about having... I'm just going to talk over it. With management, there are so many pros and cons. A massive con is they take 20% of your income, and if you're a 20% taxpayer, you're paying tax twice. However, I have been very anti-management for the last 4 years because I felt so capable of doing it myself. I have had so much inbound work since I started my job as a creator that I've never had to have management in that sense. However, when I started, like very start the first year, I had an incredible manager called Liam, who I loved, and I love still so much, just wishing you well from afar. He, one of the best personalities in the industry I've ever met, but I definitely felt like I outgrew his agency because I was like a big fish in a small pond, and I was one of like 15 talent that he was managing. And since then, I've learned that actually you're much better off having one manager for like 5 people instead of a lot. I say this, but he also had other people like helping him, supporting him and working with him, so it was very manageable for him. But for me, I think I was just looking for a little bit more commitment and a little bit more experience, because I now, signing management, have found someone who already understands like my side of the game, whereas my old management was more into like the fitness side, and when I started I was on the fitness side, so it made sense then. But I definitely outgrew it after the first year, and then went on, did it myself, wanted to learn for myself, so that when it came to having management in the future, like today, I would feel like confident in the decision, knowing that I understand the role that is being fulfilled for me, rather than just like going in blind and just hoping that they're gonna do a good job and not really understanding what their job entails. So yeah, there are pros and cons. I could literally write a list of pros and cons, but to kind of give you this synopsis is the biggest con is that it takes some of your money, and the biggest pro is that they probably have the expertise and the contacts that you don't have already, that kind of thing. Oh my god, I'm literally dripping standing by this window, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up in a second. And I've got the sweat patches under my boobs, but most of the remaining questions are just asking like, how much money do you make as an influencer, how much money do influencers typically make, la 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 la. So in my first year, I left my 9-to-5 corporate job working in medical marketing, earning 35k a year, which I was really fucking gassed about when I was working at that job. Like, I literally felt like so proud of myself. I was like 2-3 years out of uni and I was earning that kind of money. Are you joking? I was so gassed. And the reason I left my job as quickly as I did, if you're pretty new here or you haven't been here since the start, I used to work in medical marketing for 3.5 years. I used to travel a lot with my job and I absolutely loved it. And then I went through a personal journey which I shared online, like weight loss and I'm only whispering that because I don't want loads of questions about how to lose weight. I'm sorry, please don't ask me, please. And after that I ended up talking about it online, and through that built like an audience and a relationship with you guys that brands were interested in like tapping in on. And I was eating like Misfits bars, like I was telling you about, like the protein bars every day anyway. And then I started working with them and it was honestly like the best collaboration, because like the best partnership, because it was so natural and so organic. And every collaboration I do for me is natural. Like when I did an ad for Always, I've always used Always, do you know what I mean? Like for me, I'm like, of course I would do that ad, like that makes so much sense. So in my first year was 35k in my old job, and then my first year of actually influencing, my Misfits partnership took over. Like I was making more in my Misfits partnership alone through those ads alone for that one brand than I was making in the whole year. Like my monthly was pretty much equivalent, and because of tax I didn't want to stay doing both. And with my time and like my passion and where like my personal interests were like leading, I was becoming so much more interested in this, not even not even necessarily as an industry, but more of just like a hobby, like content creation as a hobby, and editing and creating. Like I was doing marketing before, but this felt like I was really in the marketing, like I was just loving it. It was so fun. And it was less about convincing someone to buy a product or someone to use our medical device. It was more about just being a girly pop online and enjoying myself and sharing my journey. So yeah, I quit, and in the first year I turned around, I think about 65, which again I was like, what the fuck. Second year 80, third year about 150, the fourth year, which was last year. This is insane. This is all before tax, by the way, and this is the money I brought in just from brand ads. So this is not including my expenses, this is not including taxes, the bills, the insurances, everything else I have to pay. So this is before all of that money was taken away for the 4 years, but last year was $250,000. So I feel like when I turned around to Henry and after we got engaged and I said, look, I want to elope, and we obviously had this conversation before, and he was like, oh, well, I want to have a wedding. I said, fuck it, fine. We've done really well this year financially. Let's just have the wedding now. We don't need to save, let's just have it now. And it was also around that same time that we were talking about moving abroad, we just didn't know where. So yeah, kind of all like last year really was just an incredible year from that perspective. And you cannot believe how much of that is just gone, like poof, to taxes. We definitely made the most of it, and yeah, of course we still have like savings, and I'm trying to learn how to invest, but it's very overwhelming, it's very difficult. But we are very sensible with our money, so we've put it into good places. And this year, I'm not even kidding you, it was 6 months into the year, I think I paid like 20k. Like the difference is mad, but I honestly have never been happier either. Like last year was obviously one of the happiest years of my life. Like I got to marry my best friend and I had Billy. That was my first full year of my life with Billy. Like it was literally my happiest year of my life. But when it comes to being like, I don't know, it's just like a different happiness this year. This year it feels like a confident, like quiet, silent happiness, and has no relation to money, and I just love it. So yeah, anyway, this year I'm pretty broke, which is why I've ended up reaching out to management, because I thought, I'm not getting the inbound that I used to. Let me rely on a resource that I am familiar with, one that I feel can actually really serve me. And I'm actually really excited. Like I kind of see this management move as, I don't want to say forever, but like a permanent move. Like it's something that I don't want to have management for like 3 months. I want to pursue management like for good now, and I hope that with my new management agency and with my manager, I already have such a good feeling about it. Like I can't explain it, but I just have a really good gut feeling that it's the right move. And she honestly is such a nice girl. I feel like we were a really good like combination of personalities. I say this, I literally met her today. But I just have a good gut feeling about it. I can't explain it. And yeah, I'm hoping this year will help us just bring in enough to like pay our way and just live a happy life, and put a bit into savings so that we are still like able to serve ourselves in the future. But yeah, okay, that's all the questions. I hope that was really helpful. Thank you guys so much for your patience through the video as well, getting to this point where we can actually sit down and answer the questions. I fear I am actually sweating through all of my clothes now, and I probably need to go queue for the flight. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching and for joining us this week. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I'm excited to see you next week. Ciao chicas, bye.